Today I'm doing another Spooky Month stream, and I'll be playing a bunch of small indie games where, as per a previous theme that I sort of latched onto, the player character is what could be considered a monster or otherwise spooky kind of creature. So I've got a little bit of a lineup today. It's another little showcase kind of thing. Hopefully there's not too many technical hitches again. They do tend to happen. But yeah, what I did was I based it around a few things that I did know about or I'd found in research. And then I went looking for more on itch.io, doing searches with their tag function. So anyway, to get started, hello Gibbon, how's it going? First game I'm playing is Black Magic. It's a game where you're a cute little witch, and what drew my eye about this game was the adorable pixel art, of course. It's also short. It's a first-time game from a creator, Better Than Bread Games, which is the sort of game studio handle of Molly Brady. Yes. Sorry, just getting my notes up here. So this game was finished only in April of this year, and it's still being updated. So, right, I need to switch the thing to this one, and then start the game. Hopefully this works. Yes, okay. Yeah, Gibbon agreeing that itch.io is great, and he loves finding indie games there. So it can be, you can really lose yourself just searching through there. Okay, everything looks fine. So yeah, this is a puzzle game. So here we go. There once was a wise and powerful sorceress. She was exactly what you would expect. Young, strong, insanely good looking. Just your standard badass. Oh yeah, I guess since this is a platform with very little oversight, there might be certain adult situations such as mild swears. Another game I'm playing later on I do know has a fair bit of blood, but I'll warn you before I start that, and it's quite cartoony and, not to be really taken seriously. Anyway, sadly for the sorceress, even badasses get lonely. Sometimes she wished there was someone she could share her adventures with. Unfortunately, there isn't a wish-granting genie in this story. There is, however, an awesome haunted castle, and that is where our story begins. Alright, here we are. Yep, okay, so we got the WASD. We've got, oh, okay, there's a dash move and E to talk. Welcome to the castle. Proceed with caution. Use ESC to save your progress. Can I talk to small ghosts? No, just the big ghost. Hello, ow. Okay, so the slimes are not friendly. Hello, cat. Meow. Wonderful. Wait, enter? Cannot advance this dialogue suddenly. Oh no. Hang on, shift? Okay, no. So I do have an attack, but I seem to be stuck talking to this cat. Well, that's unfortunate. Save. Load. Okay, good, that sets me at the start of the room here. Oh, the dialogue's still stuck on this cat. Ugh. Jeez Louise. Well, the game is in active development, so there is a disclaimer that there will be bugs on the itch.io page. There was also a strange kind of thing where I had to move the executable file to a different folder than what I expected. Anyway, it's odd. Yeah, alright, so this time we'll skip the cat, I think, and I can attack the slimes. Wonderful. Alright, let's explore. Quit it. Ouch. Okay. Now, I'm sure this game has witches at some point. I thought I'd be playing as a witch. I guess a sorceress is a kind of witch. Depends how you view it, but I mean, there's plenty of games out there where you play as a witch, but usually it's quite a cute looking witch. Not threatening or scary at all, really, but you know. The idea of Halloween, in a way, in the modern age, is to make scary things into non-threatening, marketable versions of themselves. Okay, so I guess some rooms just contain slimes to kill. Aha, I don't have a key. Why don't we save? Don't know how long exactly this game is, but I do know there was a Let's Play video linked in the comments that went for 10 minutes. So that's how much I'm budgeting for this game, because we've got more to get to. And there should be another game about a witch a bit later on. I wonder what she's leaving behind there when she dies. It's some kind of small yellow... Oh, I see. She's wearing like a yellow circlet, and her body disappears when she dies, much like a Ben Kenobi, and leaves her circlet on the ground. So I guess her dress and her shoes also go with her, but not the circlet? I don't know. Must be a sorceress thing. So sorceresses... oh, okay, here we go. It's a witch. Lovely. Hello, witch. Can you help me finish my potion? I still need a few ingredients. 10 acid blobs, 10 fire blobs, and 10 water blobs. Your reward awaits. Okay. Fire blobs are the tricky ones. They keep killing me. Oh. And they don't respawn, so I'm going to have to hunt them down. Find more locations where they are. Ooh, Gibbon's still playing Starlink as we go on here. And he's just beaten Wolf. Is that a definitive beating? And he's going to loot some wolf hideout. That's wonderful. Starlink sounds like a pretty cool game. Alright, this time the text box worked, but the cat still just says meow. Okay. Oh, these guys are back. Ouch. Nuts. This is tricky. Hard game. Especially when you... I'm essentially playing one-handed because the operative buttons are WASD, E to use, and Shift to attack. So I'm going to shift slightly to ease my wrist. Yeah, that actually works a little better because then I can have some dexterity with both hands and different functions on each. I find that helps. My timing's not so great. Gotta be up pretty close. So I don't appear to be collecting anything from these blobs, but I guess that's assumed. How do I get 10 fire blobs? I'm gonna talk to the witch again. Oh, this one's back. Oh, okay. Did I save? Oh, I'm back here. Nuts. I guess if I do this and then die and then... Yeah, then I've lost that, so... Save scumming, I guess, is the order of the day. Ah, they're so quick. And I forgot to save scum. Cool. Gosh. Gibbon's talking about Starlink, but he's thwarted Wolf's plans that killed all the henchmen that he'd gathered in the Atlas system. Apparently there's a lot of side quests and side tracks to distract you, but Gibbon's going to focus on the main quest so that he can play other games that are coming out. I see. That's why I don't have that problem. I don't play too many current games. Wait, did I lose some green blobs? No, I guess I just lost my progress. Witch, you gotta be a bit more lenient with me, Witch. Alright, so what we're gonna do is kill ourselves and then load the game. Okay, that's fine, I guess. So try and get a couple of acid blobs too. Good, now save. I've got to say, the pixel art in this game is outstanding. It's sort of a Game Boy Color kind of feel, but with the modern benefits of widescreen and smooth scrolling and stuff. Oh, I guess it saved my health total. I thought that was actually getting restored, but it's not. Oh well, it'll make it easier to save scum, I guess. I believe I can block those fireballs with my attack. Ugh. It hardly seems fair when you spawn in that room right on top of the acid blob. Okay, got the health drop. So yeah, this can't be the intended way to play. I mean, yeah, like I said, this is a sort of an early progress game, so presumably as development continues, these things will be tweaked, maybe more rooms added and such. Oh, my wrists is really killing me. Oh well, and since I've already gone for that 10 minutes that I mentioned earlier, and this is going to get repetitive, why don't we leave it there? Nice little tech demo, work in progress kind of thing. Thank you, Better Than Bread Games. So I'll swap back. So this is the one I think I should have been using earlier, and this will show, yeah, the things. So what? Let's do a quick overview of what else is coming up. We've got a game about a Medusa next, and then a ghost, a vampire, another witch, or a witch, an actual witch. That was a sorceress. What's the difference? I don't know. Another Medusa, and then possibly another witch at the end if we have time. So why don't we do the Medusa next? Let's see. I had a setup for that, didn't I? I think it was this one. Let me see if that gives me the right. I had a cropped. Was it this one? Sorry. Just checking for the results of that. Jeez Louise, I don't know. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Okay, so this game is by Camizotto, who is a French indie developer. He's worked on a couple of things for various French companies. Originally as a musician, but he's done some work in development and art since then as well. Oh, that's right. I was going to expand this one, so I'll just do that. All right, this one goes full screen. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is called Medusa, Wrath of the Queen. It was made in 2015 for a game jam, and you'll find that a lot of games on itch.io were created for game jam competitions or like development, contests like that in a short space of time.
Wrath of the Queen.
Wrath of the Queen. Some nice French accented English spoken language there, which is at odds with the pixel art, but that's okay. So the competition that this was a part of was called Construct 2 Jam, and the theme was coin-op. So Camizotto has modeled this game off arcade favorites that he remembered, such as Bubble Bobble, Snow Bros, things like that. So it's all there on the page.
1. Crush them.
Crush them. Okay, so we got X and spacebar, I believe. Yes.
You rock.
You rock. So here we go. I know Gibbon is a fan of this kind of thing. I've seen him retweet art a couple of times
3, 2, 1.
where
Crush
Medusa has been sort of rehabilitated, or there's been art that is of the sort of idea that Medusa did nothing wrong, and she should be a sympathetic character in the story, and Perseus is coming in to her home and just killing her, and that's not cool. So there's plenty of media where the Medusa or Gorgon is a sympathetic character. And yeah, there's a couple of games like that on itch.io itself. So this is one of them. Oh, crap. Sorry, I just got a message about... yeah, okay, that's... we're thinking of moving house, so... Whoopsie. Yeah, I got hit by that soldier, so I've lost... Perseus is in the place. Oh no, he's here. So that's what happens when time runs out. Perseus comes in and, oh, nasty.
Slade.
Yes, slayed. Should be slain, but that's okay.
3,
English is second language here.
1. Crush down.
So in the actual myth, of course, Medusa is one of the three sisters. Collectively, they're known as Gorgons. And Perseus comes to her place. Her gaze can turn people to stone. That's the power that she always has. And she's considered a monster. And I don't remember what she did, but for some reason Perseus comes in and he uses a mirrored bronze shield to reflect her gaze back at her, thus protecting himself from it. Nuts. And then he cuts off her head with his sword. Charming fellow. But yeah, there's plenty of games where Medusa gets her revenge and manages to defend herself. Games and other media.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so we put an offer on a house and I've just been told that our bid has been declined, so I really like that house. Oh well, we'll keep looking. More property inspections in our future, of course. That's the way it goes. And of course they have to be looking at you to be frozen or petrified by your gaze, of course. And this guy's able to jump to escape it. Interesting. Oops. Cool. Yeah, so the idea is to throw them against the wall once you've stunned them. Yeah, house hunting is rough.
3, 2, 1. Crush down.
Okay, can I pause this? I don't know. There's a bit of chat I want to get on to. Zach's here. How's it going? Yeah, I was watching his Crazy Taxi stream earlier. He's chosen the Game Club game this month, and he's gone Crazy Taxi, which was a lot of fun. So Gibbon says that Medusa is a great mythological character who gets a bad rap. He says she is sympathetic. She was cursed with the petrification gaze because Athena was peed off that Medusa was attractive enough for Poseidon to have romantic interest in her in Athena's temple. Athena is in love with Poseidon, so of course she blamed Medusa, blaming the victim, basically saying that she was asking for it. So yeah, some pretty messed up sexual politics there in ancient Greek mythology. Dang. So for that reason, Medusa is not a monster, she's a victim, and yeah, the rehabilitation of her is pretty interesting and cool. And she has neat snake powers and can turn people to stone.
9, 8.
I want to hear his voice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I will continue. So it says free mode, so I guess that means I get infinite continues, but I do have a life counter as well.
Crush them.
Luckily I get to start on this stage because I continued. Yes, they can recover from the petrification. Oops. I like the bouncing gems. That's very, you know, old arcade game. Bubble bobble and all that. Your rewards bouncing around. Colourful things to pick up. It's very satisfying.
You rock.
Often it's fruits or gems. But we have different kinds of jewelry here as well.
3,
Valuables that
2,
soldiers have looted, I assume.
Crush them.
They're stuck in this little pit. Silly soldiers. Okay, so if I throw a soldier into a jar, then more point items will come out. Look at me when I'm talking to you, young man. It seems like my gaze is blocked by the obstacle thing. Ah, nuts.
Perseus into the
No!
place.
Not Perseus. I wonder if I can... Oh, he's so fast. And you see, he can't be petrified because he has the shield. Which is probably the origin of the mirror shield in the Zelda games. No. Quick. Oh no! How did that happen? That seems like a bug. I'm sure I can get this guy. Whoop! Oh no. He got me.
Slay.
Yeah, that's right. Last time Zach was in charge of Game Club, he picked a Castlevania game, which he says would have been more appropriate for October, but oh well. Yeah, I'm not too fussed on that kind of thing. I mean, I am using it as the basis for my streams this month, but... like, it's just a fun thing to... Gosh, I can't word and play this arcade game at the same time. Yeah, it's fun to pick a theme. I think I like doing that. And why not pick one that my audience might relate to?
Perseus
Ah.
into the place.
Okay, we can deal with this. Oh, it kind of slows down when... Oh, yeah, okay, that was it. While I've got this pause opportunity, let me reply to this message because it's pretty important.
3, 2, 1. Crush them.
Alright. Medusa, let's do it. Did I mention that this game actually won that contest that it was in? The Construct 2 Jam. Oh, it happened again. I gotta be careful about that. Yes, got him just in time. What? How did I lose so much time? Or was that just because I was messaging and stuff? Okay. We could do this. Ah!
Perseus into the
Apparently
place.
not. This is gonna be tricky. Yeah, if the normal soldiers hit you, you get kind of stunned, so you
Slay.
move slower.
Continue. 9.
Yeah, Zach says he doesn't actually feel bad, it's just something
3,
funny that he
2,
noticed, yeah.
1. Crush them.
I'm glad you made me play Dracula X, actually, because I wouldn't have otherwise. But I did end up enjoying it. Although I decided the Rondo is better. Ah, you little jerks. Yeah, that's it. No! Oh no! This map isn't very conducive. Because they're jumping and then there's things in the way. Yeah, if I'm here, he can't get me. Yeah, there was a little sound effect there to show that my gaze was being reflected. Yep. Come on, boys. Ah! Dang.
Slay.
Yeah, so Medusa games is kind of a subgenre. There's several of them on itch.io, and hopefully I'll be getting to another one later. What's the time? Okay. Ugh. There's very little room on this stage. Ow! No. Once they're in your hitbox. Oh no! Perseus is in the place. Crap.
Slay.
Nah.
3, 2, 1. Crush them.
So I mentioned this game was 2015. Yeah, I don't know how long itch.io itself has been around as a platform, but there's a lot of games on there. It's an extensive library at this point. And it's not like exclusive. If someone publishes a game on itch.io or just, I mean, like puts it there, that doesn't mean it's not available elsewhere as well. Such as Game Jolt or, you know, like Newgrounds or something. Don't know how much people use Newgrounds anymore these days. Aha, I can grab him midair. You jerk. I was so close.
Slay.
I should have tried throwing him against that lower wall at the bottom.
9. 3, 2.
Zach going with a subjective argument for
Crush,
Dracula
yeah.
X. He says it feels better, but he can't blame anyone for preferring Rondo. That's it. That's it. Come towards me. Okay, that works. Oopsie. Ah. I can't take 2 penalties. Yes, stop. Hold on. No! Ah, Perseus is in the place. Ah! Dude. And the bonuses, of course, are only for score in the old coin-op style. Might be extra life cutoffs, but considering it's on free mode with infinite continues, lives don't seem to make much of a difference to my gameplay. Yep, that's it. Good. Yes. Oh yeah. This is a good setup. My gaze has a decently long range. Excellent.
You rock.
You rock. Poor Medusa.
3,
She's getting her own back.
1. Crush them.
I saw something. It was probably something Gibbon posted. It was a storyboard for a hypothetical Medusa animated movie, which was really cool. Which made the snake thing more of an autonomous factor, not as part of
You rock.
Medusa's actual like physical self. Oh yeah, it's a mini comic.
3, 2, 1. Crush them.
I didn't know whether it was a comic or a storyboard. It was just kind of it didn't have any dialogue, which is, I suppose, effective for a comic. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm glad I managed to get all 3 of those at once. Let's see if we can do that again. Gotta time it right. Okay. Yes. Great. Yes. Tell me I rock. Thank you. Oh yeah, did I even mention yet that I have the criteria that all my playable characters have to be women?
Crush
That's
them.
part of my theme this year. Sort of feminist thing, I guess. Not that games that have female protagonists are feminist games necessarily, but the fact that I'm selecting for them is a feminist idea, I suppose. I've thought about this. But yeah, Medusa, of course, is a classic. No! You're not supposed to drop there. Ah! Okay, okay. There's plenty of room here for Perseus to get lost, so... It seems like these guys get faster if they manage to recover from a stoning. Much like in Mario Brothers, actually. That's what I'm thinking of. If you knock over an enemy, a shell creeper or a fighter fly or what have you, then once they get up by themselves, they'll become faster. Oh boy. Come on, jump, soldier man. Alright, I'll wait for Perseus to... Oh, okay. He seems to like jumping, but not so much. Okay, there's a comic and storyboards for converting the comic into an animated feature. Anyway. Oh. They reverse direction. Yes, that's it. Come at me. Okay, if I smash two rocks into each other, they'll break as well. Oh no. Took too many hits in a row. I must say, I really like Medusa's sprite as she's activating her gaze, with her arms wiggling and her eyes blaring out that pink beam. Very nice. Yes. Okay, why don't you... Nope, okay, they're too fast. I might have to... Okay, I can... Nope. Ugh. The positioning is everything. This is actually really sort of well-made arcadey experience in the vein of those influences I mentioned. So I think Kami Zoto has done a great job with this. No wonder it won that contest. Great. Get lost, Perseus. Zach's asking Gibbon if there's any... Oh, great. That's it. I've reached the end of the game. 10 quick levels. And yeah, lovely little experience. So well done. Thank you. And we'll move on. Zach's asking about games based on the 1998 Godzilla movie, the American Hollywood movie. I do know that the animated series that spun off from that got a game adaptation on the Game Boy Color, but there's probably more as well. Zilla might even be a character in some of the crossover games. He was in Future Wars, the movie. Okay. Let's see. Zach is reminded of Woe Dave. Just hang on this screen for a little bit. Catch up on chat. Yeah, a lot of slowdown in the game. It's intentional though, when things happen. Alright, so next game on the docket is a ghost game. So I went looking for a long time for ghost games, but a lot of the time you're either a man who's become a ghost or just a non-gendered kind of blob ghost. So this is the only one that claims that the ghost protagonist is a woman. So this game is made by Laura Clamott. She is a UX designer. I mean, it says it all here. You can see this, right? Yes, okay, you can. And yeah, she does UX design, but then she made this game on her own time. So yeah, there's, in addition to games for contests and stuff, there's sort of little hobbyist games that people just make for fun. So this one's made in Unity, and it's about a little ghost. Why don't we do this first? Touch lanterns to light them. It's just moving and jumping. So there's your credits, mostly done by Laura Clamott. And yeah, there's a little bit of sound flourish there. So Fortress of Lanterns. Yeah, I mean, it looks and feels pretty amateurish, but as you know, a first time effort for someone just doing it in their own time. It's quite charming, I find. And I'm getting actually a bit of slowdown for realsies, not intentional. So sorry about the quality of the stream there. I cannot pass down through platforms. I have to find a place to jump down. But yeah, I just thought it would be a nice little chill kind of experience. You're essentially playing as a ghost who's kind of haunting this abandoned castle and doing upkeep of the lanterns here. So yeah, it's pretty relaxing, I think. Yeah, there were a lot of interesting looking ghost games to find, but since I really want to focus on heroines, I had to pick one where there is an explicit gendering of the main character, which I realize does kind of leave out non-binary characters, which is kind of what a lot of the ghost characters are. But I wanted to be feminist positive, I suppose. Oh, that's true. So Zach bringing it up because he's actually made a few good suggestions over the time I've been doing this for games with female protagonists. He's had some interesting ideas. But yeah, Zilla in Godzilla 98 was female, of course, because she had a lot of babies. That's part of the plot. Zach saying that our protagonist here looks like a Garrow from Majora's Mask. Garou. I can see it. I can definitely see it. But this is one of those non-violent games, which I've been thinking about doing more of. There's no conflict or no violence. This is interesting. Notice how up above there was a lantern post, but it was broken and had fallen off, and the lantern's fallen all the way down here. That's almost like interactive storytelling or something. It's just how the castle is. I noticed that on the page for the developer, Laura Clamont. Her header background was a map of this whole game world. So that gave me kind of an idea of the general layout of this castle. So this game was made this year. It was only finished in February. I don't think she's going to update or add to it the way Black Magic obviously is going to be continually updated. But yeah, as a self-contained experience. Actually, hang on a second. What's this? Roman numerals. Let's decipher them. 3C, that's 300. I just went to the museum and saw some Roman stuff, so I'm an expert now, apparently. Never mind about the cloud clipping through that castle layer. That's just what happens in haunted castles. So CCC is 300, L is 50, and you know that because if you make an L with your fingers and put two together, it makes a C, so it's half a C is an L. I did it in real life, but you can't see. You just try that yourself. So it's 350, and then 2 X's is another 20, so 379. What does it mean? Who knows? It's cryptic. Alright, so I think jumping off here, I'll fall past this lantern. Excellent. Oh, and you do get timed. There's as night begins to fall, the fortress looks a little brighter. My time, 266 seconds. But of course, I wasn't trying for a speed run. Okay. Well, that was nice. Fortress of Lanterns. Thank you, Laura Clamont. Have I played Elite Beat Agents? No, it's on my list. I'll play it eventually at some point when I'm feeling like a rhythm game. Yeah, as I said, here you can see the whole castle. Most of it, anyway. Right. The next thing I need to do is actually switch to a virtual machine. So that's when things are going to start to get flickery, judging by past behavior. So this game's called Yuki's Vacation, and you play as a vampire, or a vampire ninja, I guess, and you got to fight a bunch of ninjas. So like I said, there's a bit of blood, like it's all very cartoony. You cut off ninjas' heads, and there's, particle spray everywhere. So I need to switch the thing. Where's the thing gone? This thing? I need to switch to this one. Okay, so we should be fine from here. And I'll cross my fingers that everything works the way it's supposed to. I do have a controller for this because this game will take a little longer than these browser games I've been playing. So I have my controller set up for this one. Okay. Why is this so much smaller than it usually is? Oh boy. Okay, it's all here. Yuki's Vacation. So I tried running this in Windows 8 and it crashed. It didn't launch at all. The game was made in 2002. A lot of the ones I've been playing so far have been quite modern and released recently. But this one is, yeah, from the era of Windows XP. So I was able to run it easily in a Windows XP virtual machine. So let's go. Act 1, Scene 1, Nightclub Ninja Havoc. The story of the game is that you are Yuki, a vampire ninja. You can... what are the controls again? Yeah, okay. So you have to kill ninjas, but there are also civilians standing around. Now, it is optional that you can drink from their fluids, their blood, obviously, because you're a vampire. But doing so does restore your health and give you special powers and fighting abilities to use. So, yeah, it's a bit button mashy. The controls are pretty simple. As you move along, you just have this one attack. You can vary it up with a roll attack like this, and then it ends with a stab. There's also the Shoryuken kind of uppercut thing, which I'll demonstrate. The cha-cha. Cha. Nice. And then once you drink some blood, you get the flame lick. So every person gives you a different ability. So there's quite a few of them in the game. Let's use this one on some ninjas. If I can manage to climb up here. If you cling on a wall, you can climb it freely. And ninjas, I think, will just infinitely spawn. So it's kind of a playground, play around, beat 'em up kind of thing. It was made pretty quickly and released as freeware in 2002. Zach saying that Elite Beat Agents has some violence happening in it, but not on the part of the player character. So yeah, I'd say that counts. That's a kind of game where you play as like. Your character is like an encouraging kind of figure who wants to help people with their problems, and they do it through the use of music and rhythm MIDI games. And they sort of play a song to help people out in doing various everyday kind of things. Yes, exit. Big flashing sign. Also, it's got a share song in it. Okay. Interesting. Taking back the streets. Now notice that even on that loading screen, that sort of the interstitial screen, there's some character control. You could hear the sound effects of Yuki doing various things. Okay, so yeah, just experimenting a bit here. You can do an uppercut attack in midair, which is nice. You can even get extra height on your jump if you do it. So let's get another power, shall we? Picked up health. Okay. So you don't want to think too much about. I mean, a few of the games I've played have been like cutified versions of monsters, but here we're clearly a villain, a vampire who's completely embraced her vampire side and has no problem with drinking the blood of random innocents. So, you know, you have to be comfortable with that. Whoopsie. I like being able to climb any wall. I just wish it was a little faster. So this game seems to be running okay, I think. And there don't seem to be too many problems on the stream with it. But But, oh, so the little child just gave me a bunch of ammo. The ninjas seem to be drinking from some kind of flask frequently. Wonder if that gives them special powers or if they're just thirsty. So yeah, obviously this is a campy kind of ultra-violence, beat-em-up kind of thing. But that, yeah, vampires gotta eat, says Zach. Yeah, it's the old moral quandary of vampire fiction. If your vampire is a sympathetic character, to feast or not. So child gives me ammo again. Okay, so it seems like the type of character that you drink from will always give you the same kind of power up. So I haven't talked about the developer of this game. Murder on the Orient Express. So we're on a train. Let's drink from poor grandpa here. Ice blades, nice. So the game was made by a game studio called Totally Screwed Software. And we have a new type of enemy here. And I can lop off his arms. Totally Screwed Software is just one guy whose name is James Silver. Recently, he's recruited another person into the company. It's actually his wife, or I should say, a woman helped him in like playtesting and stuff for an earlier game, and that's how they met. And since then, they got married, and now she's part of the studio and does art for the more recent games he's made, which I think is a blessing because James Silver's art style himself, you can see in games of this. So Yuki's Vacation is one of the earliest ones he put out, but anything after that up until about 2009, 2011 time has this kind of look, and it's sort of, well, it's not the most sophisticated art style, I'll say. You know, it's got its own little charm, and it looks kind of cute, but the game's got moodier over the years, and then I feel like they look a lot better since he got other people involved. But anyway, let's mention this in the background. There's some kind of planet with a ring. Also, I haven't done this before, but because I haven't really noticed enemy attacks so much, but if you hold down, you're able to block and dodge any attack. It's a completely perfect counter move. So yeah, James Silver, you might have heard of, did I mention that he rebranded the studio? It's now called Scar Software. You might have heard of some of his games. He had some success on the XBLA platform with various games. Hold on, I'll just deal with this first. Looks like we got our first boss fight. Let's use some of our extra moves here. Yeah. Oop. Flame Lick doesn't appear to do too much. There we go. Take that. Do. Zach says the ninjas who are drinking are all trying to be drunken masters. Skyline sadism. Fire bomb, that's new. Given says, I might know him. Oh wait, that's a different James Silver. Oh well. Zach says it's interesting to see a pixel art indie game from before those were really in vogue. I agree, actually. Simplistic art style, but this really is before the retro boom, so this isn't exactly 8-bit kind of style that became so popular. Alright, so the firebomb goes in an arc and then hits the ground and explodes and deals damage like that. So we've got a new ninja enemy here. We've got some guys with hats. Yep, okay. I don't think you can fall off the bottom of the screen even when it looks like a void, because she seems to just sort of fly over to the next clingable surface. Also, a little animation detail I noticed that I appreciate. when you go to drink from a civilian, you can see her pull off her face mask. Check it out. Yeah, revealing her fangs, and then she goes for the neck. Lovely. Yes, so Gibbon brings up the fact that... Oh yeah, I guess I'll just continue talking about their development history. So a lot of the games that Silva, James Silva made over his development history, it seems like he's only ever worked on his own titles and self-published them, which is nice. He's never been like a corporate drone kind of thing, which, you know, nothing wrong with that if you are. Sorry, that was pretty poor taste, actually. Sorry. But anyway, he is actually credited in a couple of things. Dust and Elysian Tale and Cosmic Star Heroine. So he's collaborated with other indie, high-profile sort of indie devs. But let's see, what did he make that you might have heard of? Dishwasher was, I guess, listed as one of the more prominent ones he'd released on Xbox Live Arcade. Zombie games was a huge theme, I noticed, with a lot of his catalog, kind of fighting off waves of zombies. It's pretty much an overdone trope at this point, but I guess he was participating in that when there was the zombies boom, or maybe even before that, I don't know. There was a multiplayer game where zombies are fighting humans, aided and abetted by a race of pterodactyls, which seems like an interesting concept. But yeah, what his company is most known for currently, I guess, would be Salt and Sanctuary, which got a successful release on various platforms. Oh boy, I'm kind of stuck here. That's a problem. Aha. Use the uppercut. Lovely. Yeah. Salt and Sanctuary, to sort of put it simply, it's kind of a 2D version of Dark Souls, I guess. And I mean, that's obvious that that's what the inspiration is, with the look and the gameplay style, or at least part of it. You know, it's quite difficult. You traverse these grim, moody environments, and then if you die, you drop your salt, in this case, not your souls, and you have to fight your way back to claim them until you die again. And my health is actually quite low, so it's conceivable I could die for the first time. Oops. Okay, hitting the road, which normally is a damaging thing, didn't actually kill me in that instance. I'm just going to run and not waste too much time fighting. Get to the end. Do I get a health refill? I haven't been paying attention. So yeah, this game is a bit more substantial. Rush in the Rapids. I do. I have full health again. Yeah, Zach's saying original pixel art is kind of original, since there were games at that time that reused sprites from other games. I didn't know that was such a big thing. I guess in kind of Flash games scene, the indie self-published scene, perhaps. I do know about sprite comics of the era that used game sprites to tell a story if the artist couldn't do the art. So I noticed in the background here we've got a different kind of planet now. So I don't know what that tells you about the game world, but we don't seem to be on Earth. Of course, our Earth doesn't have vampires, or does it? It certainly doesn't have hundreds of ninjas. Okay, give me your powers, man. Ice Shuriken's a good one. Let's hold on to that. Whoops. But yeah, Salt and Sanctuary, I guess it's a little bit different from the usual oeuvre of the studio, since a lot of their stuff has been about zombies and fighting hordes of things at once. But it's certainly done well for them, so good on them. although a lot of their stuff was released on Xbox Live Arcade, some of it's been delisted, but a lot of it's also available on Steam. This game, I think, is the only freeware that he's put out. It was while he was working on other things. So check out James Silver's other work. Why don't you? Oh yeah, and there's a connection too as well. I mentioned Dishwasher, which, let's see, there's 2 games with the Dishwasher title. The first one is Dead Samurai, and I think your character is supposed to, he's working as a dishwasher. Sorry, that's what we called them when I was a dishwasher. But he's a sort of a zombie samurai. And it's got a really dark art style. Oh, great. So that's the horrible, is it? Maybe? Some kind of blob monster. Lovely. And the second game, what's the second game called? I think it's Vampire Dream or Vampire something. Is that right? I don't remember. Anyway, there's a second dishwasher game that has 2 playable characters, the original dishwasher guy and someone called Yuki. And the Yuki, this character I'm playing as is Yuki, so I was wondering if it was sort of all part of the same continuation of story, but I don't think that the Yuki in that game is the same vampire that we have here. She's got like a robot arm, and it doesn't mention that she's a vampire, so it might not be. Oh boy, okay, that's tricky. So, okay, I'm getting hits in. The horrible up here was dropping down and then respawning and stuff, but he appears to be stuck right now. Well, it appears to be stuck. I got a hit in just now, but let's see, maybe if I go over here it'll prompt him to move, but so yeah, I thought there was a connection. I don't really know if there is, but they're both called Yuki, so yeah, why not? Okay, come on. So the horrible, this is part of the game's story, that the horrible is, I guess, the final boss. But if I can't actually hit it, then I'm not really going to be able to beat the game now, am I? Let's see. What else can I do? I could die and get the level to restart again. Let's try that. Come on, water. Yes, hit me. Good. That's good. Yes, the death. I crave it. That's true. She could have got a robot arm in between this game and that one. Oh yeah, the environmental hazard like the road, it didn't kill me even when I had 0 health. Well, I'll see if I can get horrible to hit me and finish me off. Hello, come on, dude. This is pretty frustrating. Hey, it's a freeware game from 2002. It might be a little buggy. Of course, that goes for all the games I'm playing today. Well, I guess I beat the game. Considering, the kind of quick nature of the production value here, we might not even have got much of an ending if we did manage to beat it, so let's call it there. That's Yuki's Vacation. Thank you, James Silver. It was pretty fun. But yeah, we didn't beat that boss. Oh well. So that's it for Windows XP. We're done with that. The next thing I have, let me just pull you back here. All right, so next thing was another indie game made for a game jam, a little mini game competition. If you don't know, a game jam is where developers sort of have a task of making a complete game in a very short amount of time. It's sometimes just a weekend, sometimes it's a couple of weeks. But they often have a theme. So this game was made in 10 days for Movie Game Jam 2018, and it's it's based on Kiki's Delivery Service, the Studio Ghibli film, and you're playing as a witch. who runs her own little delivery service. Zach is comparing Yuki's Vacation to Cheetah Men with the glitched final boss. Yeah, that's a good one. Action 52. I've considered playing that a couple of times. But anyway, Kiki's Delivery Service is a fantastic movie, but it never got a game tie-in for reasons I will talk about in a bit. But for this game, what we need to do, and I'm obligated to do this, is that I need to run Windows 8 because nothing else works that I tried. But that's okay because I've got everything set up for that right here. So this game was made by a small team of 3 people. The main guy is Caffeinate, also known as Nathan something, I forget. But it's on his itch.io page. He's an Australian guy, lives in Perth. He was helped by, it's all here on this page. Yeah, Sako, who did pixel art and additional programming, also based in Perth. And Martin Wright from the UK helped with the artwork that you see on the page and also some of the pixel art. So yeah, for a Game Jam game, it's quite polished and complete, which is nice. Oh good, that lined up. I did have a crop for that one. And yes, this is all going to run the startup procedures because I had to shut it down so I wouldn't use too much etceteras. So for my stream, I am playing Mimi's Delivery Dash 1.0. There's a very brief readme, and let's start the game. So, simple controls. We're flying on a broom. Very cute title screen. Let's just look at that for a bit. Lovely. If you've seen Kiki's Delivery Service, the character design will be reminiscent, but not an exact copy. If you haven't, please see it. It's really fun. It's like great. Yeah. So you're supposed to be able to increase the size of the window, but I was unable to actually manage that. All right, let's start, shall we? Oh yeah, let's count down. 3, 2, 1. Fly. All right. Oh, I hope the slowdown isn't too bad. It's running okay. Oh boy. I did notice a little when I was testing it, but of course it's worse when I'm streaming because processor resources are being taken up by the computer sending out the stream video and stuff. So yeah, I guess I'm playing in slow-mo mode. I activated that with a cheat code, so there you go. There should be... Hang on, is there music? It's actually quite low in my ears, but can you hear? Oh, that's pretty low. Why don't I try and boost that a little? Because Game Jam games don't always have music, but when they do, this one is quite adorable. Did that work? That's a little bit louder. I'll boost it a bit more, and then we'll play the game. And hopefully you can hear that. It's nice. So we lost a little bit of time, but yeah, okay. So in the movie, Kiki is a witch who, on her, I think it's 13th birthday, it's part of a witch rite of passage, is she moves out, goes to a different city to start up a witch business there, providing help to the local townspeople with simple spells and potions and what have you. In the manner of a witch, the way they would probably actually be in real life. It's just a local smart woman who knew how to help people with various problems. You know, pre-witch hunts and witch burnings, of course. So there's none of that happening here. So yeah, it's an adorable movie about Kiki kind of coming of age and learning things, and it looks amazing, of course. Zach saying, yeah, that he could barely hear the sound, but it's better now. Okay, hope that's fine now. So yeah, Kiki sort of discovers that her biggest talent is flying her broomstick, so she opens a delivery service helping to deliver small parcels by flying them around on her broomstick with the help of her cat Gigi. And yeah, that's what we're doing here. It's a pretty simple little map and we're just going back and forward, but the pixel art is amazing. There's some lovely parallax scrolling in the background there. Oh no, the crows. The crows are pretty terrifying in the film, and it's no different here. So yeah, we're going to pick up things and drop them off to other people. The radio, that was featured in the film. She listened to the radio at the start as she was flying to the new town. So yeah, Gibbon also praising the sprite work here. Yeah, so we fly around and see what people want. Oh, that's one of the, that's like, it looks like the fish pie that she delivers at a certain point in the movie. So yeah, it's all very heavily based on the film itself, this game. But only in a non-legally infringing kind of way. A dummy. I think she does deliver a dummy at some point. Yeah, anyway. Studio Ghibli has many successful movies, but they've never actually had a video game adaptation of one of their movies. Now, this all stems from an experience that Hayao Miyazaki had, purportedly. I mean, this is the story, is that when he was making the movie Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is a movie that predates Studio Ghibli itself, but is often lumped in with them because a lot of the people who worked on it then immediately went on and founded the Studio Ghibli, and it's included in compilations and stuff. So that game had a few games based on it that were released contemporary with it. So we had two sort of scrolling shoot 'em up games on it was like the PC-88 or I didn't write it down, but there's a pretty good article about it on H2 Hardcore Gaming 101 if you want to check that out. So there were, yeah, the two shmups on different home computer platforms at the time in the 80s, and also a simple and quite crude adventure game where you're Nausicaa walking around and talking to people and doing simple things, which is a lot rarer and much more unknown. And the story goes that Miyazaki was so disappointed with the quality of the games and that they didn't capture the feeling of his movies, and that in fact the developers had really misrepresented the movies or got the wrong idea about them, that he supposedly completely swore off video games and said nobody's ever making another game as an adaptation of one of my movies, and it hasn't ever happened since then. I mean, there's a couple of things here and there, like some Ghibli people worked on artwork for a game or two in the PS2 era. There have been games based on Lupin the Third, which is something Miyazaki worked on before doing the feature films. So there is that Castle of Cagliostro game. I streamed that ages ago, briefly, and then went on to the Pandora's Tower game, which is sort of a sequel to Cagliostro, the movie. But apart from that, there's only the recent collaboration with Level 5 on Ni no Kuni, which isn't an adaptation of a movie, but rather sort of a melding of Ghibli movie style and artwork with a Level 5 game. And it's a great game, and the sequel too. But that's kind of the closest thing you have to a Ghibli game collaboration. Yeah, all of these items are references to the movie. This is a little cat toy that was that she delivered to a party at one point. Ah, the crows, they're coming after me. All right, so I made a whole $27 that time, which I don't think they would have used dollars. It's supposed to be set in Italy. It's not really clear. And it's in the past as well, sort of the... What is it? Maybe the 50s? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Game over. So because that was running pretty slowly, we're not going to do another round of it, but it was fun. I guess the other point I wanted to make about the Nausicaa games was that I think Miyazaki wrote them off too quickly, and that if you actually sit down and take a good look at them, they're more faithful than he might have thought, because you don't just go around shooting ohms and stuff. That you are supposed to protect them, and I don't know. It's all there in the article, so go read that instead. So that was Mimi's Delivery Dash. Very well made little game. So what's the next one? Yes, so we're going to stay in Windows 8 for now, because we've got one more Medusa game to play, and this is by Anna Anthropy, and it's called Get 'em Hard, because we're making boys into hard stone statues. Nothing sus. So, you can see there, 2014. It's on Anna Anthropy's Itch.io page, which I believe... I'll go into it later, but here we go. The boys are at it again, invading Medusa's shrine to try and slay her. Fortunately, Medusa knows just what to do with boys. Use the arrow keys to unleash a petrifying gaze. Beware, boys will hide behind statues. Line up 3 more statues to smash them. So, this is more of a puzzle kind of action game. I have to sit here and protect myself from the boys coming in. You can see them approaching by their sprite appearing there, and then they will run around the other statues that have appeared. And if I line up 3, oops, will my shot go through? It will. Good, so I can hit that guy as he comes up. Yes, so that's 3 in a row. Smash, smash, smash. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this is made recently, but in a very retro style. Simple graphics and sounds. It reminds me of an old PC game. I would have played a lot of these in my childhood. That's 4 in a row, buddy. Yeah, give me them points. Medusa's gonna stop you. So I think the earlier Medusa game was a bit more sophisticated. But this one, it's kind of relaxing. That one, as an arcadey kind of bubble experience, was quite frantic. Also, is this too loud now? It looks okay. I'm going to leave that as is. Oops! While I was checking the volume, I got totally slain. Yikes. Poor Medusa. Let's try and beat that. But yeah, quite simple game. I don't think we're going to get too much more out of it. I think really the only reason that she made it was for the pun, basically. But yeah, she makes a lot of little experimental games just for fun, I think. So yeah, Anna Anthropy, I've considered playing some of her games before. She's a pretty prominent figure in the indie game dev scene and the queer game scene as well. She had a famous game called Dysphoria, which was sort of autobiographical story about her own experiences taking hormone replacement therapy. I've been hesitant to talk about it too much because there was sort of these issues where people said, oh, this is an empathy game that's supposed to get you feeling for her experiences and relating to them. And she had some pushback to that, saying the fact that you think you can play this game and immediately understand everything about my life is like really arrogant. So I think she objected to the term empathy game. But yeah, that label goes around a bit for various games of that type. But anyway, I probably will be playing one of her other games, Mighty Jill, off at some point, because I think it's a really fun little arcadey platformer with absolutely nothing sus about it. It's just about anyway, it's a platformer. You'll see it eventually, I guess. We can look it up. Go check it out. It's kind of a take on the Mighty Bomb Jack game from the 80s, which was a successful Japanese arcadey game platformer. There's a unique jumping style to the protagonist where they kind of float after their jump or something. I need to look into it more. But I do know that Jill from that game was a guest character in Super Meat Boy, which is how I first heard about it. Anyway, Ananthropy, she's pretty cool. She's got a bunch of games on itch.io, so check them out. This one fit the theme, so I went with it. Let's see. We're actually running under time to what I was expecting. I thought Yuki's vacation would be a bit longer, but yeah, so I'll go to another one game after this. When I was looking for ghost games, I almost went with this one by T-Dog Extreme, which was a really interesting looking RPG adventure game kind of thing. It kind of reminded me of something like Space Funeral, but more genuine and emotional. What's going on? Why don't I try and line up more of these dudes? I say yes, I blast into 3. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you there, and then there. We're gonna get a 5 in a row here, that's my goal. And I'm gonna line that up. I'll try a forward over here too. Oh no, that's not happening now. So I got a 4. If I wait for this guy to go here and then there. Okay, so now when someone appears in the middle, I'll get a 5. It'll be so exciting. Yes. Unfortunately, the boys never stop. Boom. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. That was cool. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done here with Get 'em Hard 2015, 2014. Oh. Some discrepancy there. Oh, that ghost game I mentioned just now is called Symposium of Grief, and I do recommend checking it out. But I won't be playing it on this stream. However, we're done with Windows 8, which means I can stop all this virtual box nonsense that slows down my computer so horribly. What's the next thing I'm playing? Okay, that one doesn't need controller either, so I'll turn that off. Actually, you can't just turn it off. You have to stop the helper application and then turn it off. Okay, so back here, that was Get 'em Hard. Here's the blurb, the page for it. This is one of those, quite a few games on itch.io say name your own price, and when you go to download them, you're given options for how much you want to pay for them. And free is an option. Yeah, so here's T-Dog Extreme, like I was saying. Symposium of Grief is the interesting one on the left there that I considered playing, but the protagonist, excuse me, is non-gendered, which meant that it's not in my current purview, but it's still a really interesting looking game. It was sort of unclear, like but it's not important to the story, you know. Anyway, whatever. I'll note that down here there's a werewolf game, which actually looked interesting, but it's a guy, it's Oliver. So anyway, I want to play games about heroines. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, this is the last game. Oh, why am I ending on this game? It's really depressing. Well, didn't think that one through. Okay, so this game's called Walk. And according to the tags, you're a witch. So yeah, there's not much to go on. Keep walking. You have to go on. So this is a problem actually because I didn't set up an OBS profile for this game in particular. Oh no, that's right, it goes to full screen. So if I do this, this should work. So this game didn't actually run in my VirtualBox, but it did run through Wine. Oh no, sorry, it did run in VirtualBox, but it was super de-duper slow running, which gets to be even more of a problem as you progress, as you will see. But running it in Wine, actually, it ran better. So this is what we're going to do. Yeah, so it's another witch game, the third one today. Fourth. How many? I don't know. Anyway, third, I think. But yeah, witches are kind of common, like I said, marketable kind of protagonist for a game. They've got interesting abilities that I guess you can use for gameplay. And you can make them all cute and stuff. That happens a lot with witches in video games. They're often young and adorable. But I think I'll probably be talking about witches more next week because I'm thinking of playing a particular witch game. What's the button? Oh, it's just up to jump. So yeah, here we are. We're a witch in a forest, and obviously they're a witch because you can tell from their glowy magic hands. So we're going to keep walking. Let me know how the audio balance is. There's a kind of weird thing where her foot seems to reverse as as you move forward with that. Yes, oh, that was quite loud. I hope that didn't blow you out there. Let me know. Why don't I check? Whoopsie. Yeah, hold on just a second. Yeah, it's quite loud. I'm going to turn that down. So that's going to go down. I'll half that actually. Okay. Why don't we go... Okay, so that's just native volume. It's going to be pretty quiet, but that's okay. It's just atmospheric. We're going to chill out. Yes, she was floating, but why did her foot kind of reverse? It looked like it was pointing backwards. Anyway, here's the idea. We progress through the forest, but yeah, we use our magical powers to move things. That actually just happens automatically, so this is kind of more of an interactive story game more than like an action game or an adventure game. But I trust that it has a story to tell. On each screen you find that your progress is a little harder and you'll move a little slower. That's the way it seems. But like the blurb said, you have to keep going. Oh gosh. So I think she just got attacked by a wolf in that cutscene because now she appears to be injured. This is a little slightly traumatic. But you have to keep going. That's the idea. You can't stop. Because even when life is a struggle, you just keep going. You continue. And we'll see what the game has to say about whether things get better. But for now, we're pushing on. Hope you can hear that background piano music. there's some atmosphere here. But she's definitely a sympathetic character here, which I suppose is what I'm going for by playing games where you are a monster or spooky creature, etc. Like I said at the start. Today we've been a ghost, we've been a witch, we've been a Medusa. Or, sorry, Medusa's a proper name. I think she's technically a Gorgon, but anyway. She's considered a monster. We've been a vampire as well. And although Yuki wasn't exactly a sympathetic protagonist, what with her slaying of innocents, yeah, we're going to build some sympathy here with people who've been branded monsters. It's not necessarily true. Oh boy. Here we go. It's the wolf. Oh, poor witch, she's collapsed, but the wolf. The wolf isn't violent either. Oh. Oh, and she didn't lose her arm. I thought it had been bitten off, but no, there's her hand. It's good. And they share sympathy. What a lovely image. Oh! Okay, the game kind of crashed there. I guess that's a good place to end on then. Yeah, the game just stopped, but we got our ending. Yeah, so keep walking, you have to go on. So, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me. This has been a fun little journey. I've just recapped it already just now, so yeah. We didn't get spooked at all. There was nothing scary about the creatures in these games. Yeah, except for Perseus, that jerk. Zach says, let's go before it gets any sadder. Yeah, so thanks for joining me. I hope you felt some feelings on this stream. And I'll see you next week. I've had a good time.